Good day, beautiful people, and welcome back to Life Treasures and Golden Moments. This is Natalie Silva. Well, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so I'd like to share some poems and some stories about mothers. And I want to start off with a lovely little book of poems that was written by Bradley Trevor Grieve. And she was saying, how can you adequately thank your mom for all the selfless acts of love and tireless devotion she has given? And so she'd put this little booklet together. It was the cutest thing with pictures and little sayings that I hope you enjoy. There's a lot of humor in it, too. So we're going to start off today with that. And I think you'll enjoy this. It's really cute. Starts off with a little saying from Abraham Lincoln. And he said, all that I am or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. And now the story begins. Mom, the other day I was rubbing my belly button, and it really made me stop to think. What a funny reminder of such an important connection. A connection that reminds me of how I came to be me. I'm sure it's hard to imagine that I was once small, helpless, and completely dependent on someone else, but I was. And that someone else was you, Mom. You were there to show me my first butterfly and my first rainbow. You were there when I took my very first steps, which looked remarkably similar to my very first hula lesson. You were the first person to make me smile and to laugh, and you were right there to hear my first words. Daddy, Mom, I'm so sorry about that. It makes me feel wonderful when people say I resemble you. And it's true, we have the same shaped eyes, the same ears, and the same nose. And if you look closely, you see that even our toes are similar. Well, when you think about it, that isn't so surprising. I always will be a part of you because you created me. You sculpted my face with 1,000,000 tender kisses. You taught me all the important stuff about our world and my place in it. I learned everything that matters from watching you and listening to you. And my, those birds and bees conversations were a really eye-opener. You shared with me all the values that make you so special. Kindness, forgiveness, honesty, persistence, thoughtfulness, and especially patience. You always taught me that even the worst day seems okay with a big mouthful of milk and cookies. Mom, you'd be amazed how often your calming philosophy of milk and cookies has carried me through those hard times. What I'm saying here, Mom, is that you are the foundation upon which my character is built. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for always making me feel so warm, so safe, and so loved. For giving me everything I needed, and then some, to grow up and fulfill my potential. And for calling me your perfect little angel, despite overwhelming evidence that this was not actually the case. Thank you for being my full-time, on-call, personal chauffeur from the day one. Thank you for the delicious home cooking and for packing so much love and nutrition in my lunchbox through the years, day after day, year after year. And an extra special thank you, Mom, for the intoxicating smell of freshly baked brownies. Thank you for letting a chubby-cheeked 2-year-old run wild among the most precious possessions that you owned. And for not saying, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, nearly as often as you could have. Thank you for picking me up whenever I wanted a cuddle or a better view. This probably wasn't too good for your back, Mom. Thank you for flying to my rescue every time you heard me cry out. I want my mommy. Whenever I got into a bind, you were always there for me. You always have known what to say or what not to say to make me feel better. With your strong, gentle hands and calm, wise words, plus lots of warm and loving hugs. Thank you for telling me I could grow up to be successful at anything I wanted, if only I believed in myself the way you believed in me. You mended broken toys and broken hearts time after time and time again. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for encouraging me to recognize the real beauty inside me and to stand tall. Mom, I can't tell you how much it meant to know you were always right beside me, urging me on to live my dreams. You gave me enough self-confidence to face all the challenges of this world with a smile. But Mom, as wonderful as our relationship has been, I'm not pretending it was always peaceful and perfect. I know we got into a flap over things every now and then, which really ended well for me. Even though I'm gradually coming to terms with eating broccoli and taking that terrible pink cough syrup, I'm not sure I'll ever get over you making me kiss your great aunt smack on the mustache. But upon reflection, I realize that I'm really the only one who should say, I'm sorry. As you may recall, your little bundle of joy wasn't always a bundle of laughs. I'm sorry for the times I upset you, or made you worry about me, and for all the sleepless nights I caused. I'm sorry for splashing around in mud puddles after you dressed me up in my best clothes and my new shoes, and for asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Every time we went driving. I'm sorry I tried so hard to sneak out of taking baths, and for sulking when you made me go to school or wouldn't let me get a Mickey Mouse tattoo or get my tongue pierced. I'm truly sorry for the times I was downright nasty and difficult, especially in nice restaurants. And I do feel bad about all the 5 a.m. in your face wake-up calls on my birthdays, Christmas morning, and all those times I was too excited to sleep. I'm really sorry I didn't give you more time to yourself, even just a few more quiet moments to think and to dream. I realize now what a tremendous sacrifice you made for me. I know my playtime took precedence over your rest time. My meal times took precedence over your meal times. And my potty training took precedence over your absolute everything. Then every time you tried to relax, I'd burst into the room with outrageous demands like, Mom, I'm starving. Mommy, I'm bored. Mommy, I can't find my pet chicken anywhere. I need you to wake up and help me find it right now. Frankly, I'd be lost without you, Mom. And I only wish I had more than one lifetime to repay the incredible debt I owe you. You have shown me a world filled with love and with wonder. You have put me on the path to a rich and rewarding life. And you have made me happier than you could possibly imagine. I want this whole world to know my mom is the greatest mom in the universe. Because you are. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for everything. What a lovely tribute to a mother. To all mothers out there, we all feel the same way. I don't have a mom anymore. She passed away about 10 years ago, and I do miss her so much. So if you have a mom, take good care of her, love her, and let her know that she's loved. Now I'd like to share another story with you. It's called It's Never Too Late. This was authored by Julie Osborne. As George Eliot once said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. My mom sprinkles joy everywhere she goes. Right now she's probably writing an encouraging note to a friend, complimenting someone she has encountered in the hallways, or reading the newspaper to an ailing resident in her retirement community. Or maybe she's planning the next show by the Prime Life Follies, an entertainment group she started 10 years ago for assisted living complexes and nursing homes. Growing up, my mom thought about becoming a dancer, but she didn't have the opportunity until after retirement. Then she joined her first group, the Hot Flashes. Once she donned the tap shoes, Dancing Grammy was born. There seems to be no end to her energy as she tap dances her way into people's hearts, bringing smiles to sad places. But this is nothing new for my mom. A lifetime educator, she was recognized in 1980 as her school district's Teacher of the Year. I remember the evening phone calls to students, to the homes, and when she took a break from grading papers. They were not the typical bad news calls many parents would expect. Usually she was calling about something positive. She recognized students who made small steps forward and helped even the unruly ones reach their full potential, revealing gifts they often did not see. I was the youngest of 7 children, and life wasn't easy for my mother. I remember sitting on the back of her bike as she took me to a daycare center for low-income families on her way to Rosary College, where she was pursuing an education degree. At home, she was tough because she had to be. It was not an easy childhood, but we learned from watching her, and her work ethic and determination trickled down to all of us. I could write a book about my mom, and maybe I will do that someday, but better yet, we may write one together, as her dream to be a writer has not yet been fulfilled. But she got one step closer by attending the Irma Bombeck Writers' Workshop in Dayton, Ohio. We were a mother-daughter pair of newbies. Actually, we were known as virgins, officially Irma virgins. My mom was a lifelong Irma fan, and for years she had talked about writing a book, so I knew attending this workshop would be a perfect Christmas gift. The 3-day conference was jam-packed with information and helped launch our writing careers. Day 1 started with our decision to divide and conquer, a strategy designed to soak up more knowledge from concurrent sessions. But by the end of the day, we had conquered not a thing except finding bathrooms and snack tables. By day 2, we focused on companionship and together attended a workshop on the use of social media tools to build a digital brand. I peered over the mom's notes, knowing she had no idea what Facebook Live was on. The Facebook, as she called it. Next, we found our way to lunch as the program began with the announcements of the conference icing of the King and Queen. As the Master of Ceremony spoke for a mother-daughter team she had met that previous day, I realized she was talking about us. I was overcome with emotion when we heard, "Will our new queen, Lori Manziel, please come forward with her daughter, Julie?" On the stage, the keynote speaker placed a bejeweled plastic crown on my mom's head, and the new queen was offered a moment at the microphone. "I've always wanted to be a writer, and you all inspired me," she began. "This is a new beginning. I'm going to write a book. It's never too late." With that, Irma Virgin had become the Irma Queen, inspiring more than 350 attendees from all over the country. Throughout the afternoon, fellow writers greeted her with bows and hand kisses. Selfies with the royal family became commonplace. The Queen perfected her regal wave. And just before we departed for our Indianapolis Castle home, we had a divine hallway encounter with the Bombeck family. After a photo shoot with Irma's children, we made our way to the car, and the Queen was on a cloud the entire drive home. The next day, she sat down at the computer she had to draft her first story, Queen for a Day, typing away with a crown still proudly secured on her head. From mother of 7 to grandmother of 18, Dancing Grammy, now better known as Irma Queen, continues to inspire everyone she meets. She has many titles, but my favorite is Mom. She has been a symbol of sacrifice, encouragement, perseverance, selflessness, and joy, all wrapped in bountiful, unconditional love. May my mom's zest for living create a ripple effect, serving as an empowering example of kindness and encouragement to all who cross her path, as she continues to tap dance her way through life. No doubt her book will one day become a bestseller. There's nothing she can't do, even now at the ripe young age of 88. Indeed, It is never too late. What a beautiful, inspiring story. I have one more story I want to share with you today, and it's called Straight Talk from Mom. And I know many of us probably do not have moms or didn't have a good mom experience, but this is a story about a mom talking about happiness. And whether we have a mom or someone special we look up to, I think that you'll find some comfort in this story. It has been said by Dr. Anil Kumar Sinha, happiness is not defined by any circumstance, condition, or person. You need not tie your happiness to anything. The choice to be happy is always yours to make. The story I'm concluding with today is called Straight Talk from Mom, and it was authored by Wendy Hobaday Hugh. It was November 25th, the day before Thanksgiving, and I unloaded my senior year aghast in a heartfelt letter to the universe, detailing my unhappiness and how everyone in my family thought I was just a grouch. I'm never happy anymore, I bemoaned. Basically, that's this whole problem. All my happiness is temporary. I can be happy for one day or so. Maybe I've had an elevating talk with someone or a really fine weekend with my boyfriend, but that feeling just doesn't last. In fact, within a short time, I can hardly even remember being happy and feeling good. For all its highs, my final year of high school was extremely conflicted. Excitement at the thought of leaving home mixed with fear of failure and intense sadness at the thought of leaving my safe and loving family, possibly forever. After dumping my conflicted thoughts in blue ink on lined school paper, I folded the missive, shoved it out of sight under my dresser, and got back on the treadmill of schoolwork, piano and organ lessons, a part-time job, and the endless college applications. Thanksgiving came and went, followed by Christmas and New Year's. As my forgotten letter gathered dust under my dresser, then one January day I came home from school to find my letter lying in full view on top of my dresser. Pulse racing, I unfolded it, and an additional sheet of lined paper folded around my one-page missive. My page was written in blue ink, but my mother had added her own words in flowing red pencil, completing the front and back of my sheet of paper and extending onto a second sheet. Mom started out by assuring me that no one in the family viewed me as harshly as I viewed myself, and added that we all have occasional periods of grouchiness. But Mom's amazing outlook on the subject of happiness was what really caught my attention. Happiness isn't something you grasp. It's mostly anticipation of a future event, a recollection of a past one. Sometimes present happiness is found in many small ways every day. The joy of feeling needed, the pleasure of helping someone, or the gratification of creating something, the satisfaction of a job well done. Fleeting moments, to be sure, but woven together, they blend into a state of happiness that is more constant and longer lasting than the highly elevated happiness of shorter length. Wendy, everyone learns to recognize all forms of happiness as they go along in life if they only look around them and outside of themselves. Even then, there will be a few November 25th to reckon with. Keep the faith. No doubt, worried that I might interpret her discovery and subsequent outreach as a breach of the Teenagers' Bedroom Privacy Act, Mom added a whimsical P.S. that made me smile. It made me smile then and still makes me smile today when I think about it. Dresses need to be dusted under ever so often, even by me. I don't remember what I had said to my mother after reading her uplifting response, but I know we discussed the subject in great detail. And in the many years since, I found her sage advice to be spot on. Happiness, that precious fuel that drives our daily lives, isn't something tangible that is handed out to us. It's a purposeful choice we make when we decide to seek and find happiness every day in the crazy world around us. As Mom so kindly and clearly pointed out, happiness abounds in the small things, whether past treasures, present moments, or anticipated futures. The key is to learn to recognize happiness in its many, many forms, to watch for it continually, savor it fully, and remember it always. My mother gave me a piece of advice that resonates as surely and purely today as it did back then. Woven together, a lifetime of happy moments creates a tapestry of contentment, peace, and joy that swaddles us like a cozy blanket when times are tough. Happiness is out there waiting for us even on our darkest days, if we only leave our hearts open and keep the faith. What a beautiful, positive message. I wish each of you out there that are listening today, all my fans, for you that are mothers, happy Mother's Day, and for you children that have mothers, take care, and happy Children's Day to you, and may you have a beautiful week, a beautiful day with your loved ones, and till next time, take care, and may God bless. This is Natalie Silva with Life Treasures and Golden Moments.